Exosia here, coming at you live. For the past 3 years or so now, people have been rushing to the Dion section, Dion booth at the Dion section of the Cube Fair. And everybody seems to be using all Dion cubes. Well, now there's a new cube on the market. It's called the MoYu HuanYing. Prototype. The MoYu HuanYing prototype.
MoYu HuanYing prototype.
Woohoo! Alright, so first of all, I'd like to thank Calvin over at the HKnow store for sending me this prototype of the MoYu HuanYing. I believe if you want to pre-order this cube, you can still pre-order it on his site, which is hknowstore.com, if the cube isn't already released. It may be released. No, it is not released. That is right. Last I heard, there was a delay with this cube. It had to do with the mold, just like the problem with the Feng Shui Shuang Ren, or however you pronounce it, Feng Shui Shuang Ren. I don't know. There's a problem with the mold, and they're taking the time to fix the problem rather than rush through it and have a crappy cube. So they're gonna make a good cube. I don't see what's wrong with this. I mean, I don't know why they don't just release this. This is absolutely incredible. Just recently on the SS forums, they had a diagram of what it looked like, and it showed you a drawing of the pieces. You know, kind of like the patent. I guess it is the patent drawing, and it looked kind of like the C4, the Whitlong, which I happen to have right here. It happened to look like one of these. Now, I'll show you why. Let's just get this back to solid state. I'll show you how this cube moves first. Basically, it's fast and there's no lockups at all. I do get very minimal lockage on this because the tensions aren't perfect, and I'll explain why in a little bit. And that is the only reason this cube locks at all. Otherwise, I have absolutely no doubt that this cube will never lock up. Right. I'll do a quick solve just to get this back to the solved position, and I'll show you the pieces. As you all know, I'm no good at solving white cubes, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay. So now I can show you the pieces. If I can get them out. I can't even get these things out. Right. So here's the pieces of the MoYu HuanYing. I don't know the exact pronunciation for this. Ramble Tandar was supposed to make me another recording with the pronunciation, and he made a few, and it wasn't exactly how I had it in mind. And I kept asking him to do it a different way, and the one time that I was able to show him what I wanted, he never got back to me with the recording in time. So if it's not in the beginning of this video, then you'll understand why. Here is the corner of the MoYu HuanYing. My camera doesn't autofocus. There's no focusing at all. It's one focus. Or maybe it does autofocus. I don't know. Maybe it does. Yeah, I guess it does. but it doesn't focus up close. So there's no close, you know, nothing. You can't look at anything close. But if you could see that, that's what the corner looks like. There's not much to it. Basically, it's two pieces. And you know, I dropped the cube one time, and this is how I found out it was two pieces. Because the cap of this corner came off. Well, not this exact corner, but I mean, the cap of one of the corners came off. And, like, just like this. It just slides right out. It's not like a die-on corner where it's three pieces. It's just two pieces. Now I know Dan, Crazy Bad Cuber, said he doesn't think they would be able to make. I think it was him that said this. He said he didn't think they would be able to make a stickerless version of this because it's only two pieces like that. But I don't see why they couldn't make. I don't know why they don't make the stickerless cubes like not Ishin, like the Diansheng or Diansheng, however you pronounce it, cubes with the painted stickers. Why don't they just make painted stickers instead of entire pieces? I don't know. Okay, so anyway, that's a corner, and the edge looks like this. This is a C4 edge with a flat torpedo, basically. See that? Look at that. You like that? You like that? Look at that. Looks like a duck with braces. Compared to the C4, there's the corner for the C4. You probably won't be able to see it very well because it's black. Actually, that's not too bad right there. That's what that looks like. Compared to this, it's not as hollow as the MoYu, but it's still pretty close. The edge is pretty much almost exactly the same. The edge of the C4 does not curve at the stalk. This has a curved stalk, and the torpedo came out. This is the problem. I don't understand how this happens because these torpedoes are in there pretty tight, and somehow the torpedoes do come out occasionally, and I don't know why. I don't understand because the edge is closed. Oh, I see. It slides right in. You don't even have to open the edge to pop the torpedo in. It slides right in. Well, I don't know. I don't know how it just pops right out, because that's not... Oh, yeah, it just comes right out. Oh, where did it go now? Oh, man, where did that go? No! No! Oh, man, where did it... Oh, I see it, I see it! Oh, it's trapped! Come on, please don't do this to me. Wait, is that it? Oh, come on. Ah, I found it, I found it! Woohoo, woohoo! Went back into the fireplace. Don't worry, though, we can't use the fireplace. Don't worry. I don't know why we can't use it, but I think birds might nest up there or something. I don't know. So I've got the torpedo back. So yeah, it can basically just come right out without even opening the edge. I don't even know how that's possible. Really, it never happens while you're solving. I did have it happen to me the first day I had the cube twice. It happened twice inside the cube while I was solving it. And it was because the tensions were so loose. I don't even know why really it was happening. But it did happen a couple times. Hang on. These pieces are so hard to put in. I don't know. It's not even easy to do that. It's just not easy to put this together. Come on. You're serious. Alright. This is basically, as you can see, it's really smooth. I'd say the level of crispiness that it has is the same as a Ling Yun. Or Ling Yun. Ling Yun. I don't know. I'd say that's about the equal amount of crisp that it has. Version 2. The version 1, I would say the white Ling Yun is about the same amount of crisp as this, but the black ones are a little less crispy for some reason. But the black version 2 is about the same as this. Go figure. But the cube doesn't feel anything like a Ling Yun at all. It feels kind of like a mix between a Guhong version 2, a Ling Yun, either version 1 or 2. Well, I'd say it feels more like the version 2. It's more crispy. Because for some reason the Ling Yun version 2 had to change plastic. I don't know why. And a Juncture. But it doesn't really feel like any of those cubes, like, all together. I don't know how to describe it. It definitely feels like its own original cube. The corner cutting, now I know everybody else has been cutting like 50 degrees. Now for some reason, alright, let me explain to you the tensions on this cube. For some reason, I am the only one that got this assembled. Everybody else got DIY kit. Now, I don't know why that is. At least everyone whose videos I've seen. Everybody else got a DIY kit. I am the only one who's came assembled. And I like DIY kits. I mean, I really wish I had gotten it as a DIY. And for reasons like this that I'm about to explain to you. The core in this seems to be defective. I don't know if it's the way it was put together, or if it's just the core. I don't know. But it seems that on one side, I cannot tighten the screw as far as it needs to go. So it's really loose on that one side. So what I ended up having to do was loosen all the other screws to make it even with that bad screw. So now the cube's a little bit looser than I'd like it to be, and I can't do anything about it because I can't tighten it. It's not bad at this tension. It's a great one-handed cube, by the way. I am no good at one-handed, but it doesn't lock up at all. It's perfect. So Calvin said I could use any core and screws from any other 3x3, but I don't see how it would feel the same because this core is a different size than the usual Dion/Alpha cores that you normally use, the Cube for You cores. They're all the same, that same basic size. This has a slightly different sized core, and it's a different shape too. I don't know if I can. I don't want to take it apart again. The core has these arms that it looks a lot like the C3 core. If you have a C3, the core arms kind of taper towards the end, and they get smaller and smaller towards the end. I don't think that would have anything to do with how the cube feels, but the core itself, I think, is a different size in general. So I don't know if you can use any other hardware in it, or if it comes with defective hardware in general, or if it's just this one. Everyone else's seems to be cutting at 45 or over 45, about 50 degrees, and mine cannot. Mine cuts about 45. Right there. Let's see if I can do 45 exactly. I cannot. I can't do 45. Just barely. That was just barely 45. So, let's try over. That's just a bit over. See, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It takes a lot of force, though. Let's try a different side. Yeah, see, it takes too much force. Let's try this side. No, it's just... No, see, it wants to pop out torpedoes. Yeah, so I mean, I guess it depends on your tensions, how far it can corner cut, really. As long as it can cut that's all I'm concerned with, really. Because that's about all you ever would use in a normal solve, I guess. If that. Reverse cutting's about the normal amount. Can't do that far. About a half piece. Yeah, about a half piece with no problem. Regular cutting, reverse cutting. In case you haven't seen the hardware at all on anyone's video, the core is kind of a cherry red core. I've never seen another core that color. The Cube for You cores are kind of similar, but not exactly cherry red. And the screws are kind of golden, like a golden color. You can see that. The center caps look like this, kind of like Type D center caps. They have a, you can't see it on here, but inside here there's a little logo. It looks like a McDonald's symbol, the M, arched M, the arches, but it's like lopsided. It's not perfectly symmetrical. It's smaller on one side, so it's like an M, McDonald's M, but smaller on one side and kind of slanted. So it's like, can't show you. And they fit. They don't come off at all. You could drop the cube. I don't think they've ever come off on me. They stay in very well. And for anyone who is still wondering if it feels like the C4 at all, it does not. It is so much better than the C4. The C4 isn't a bad cube. It's just really slow. Not slow in general, but like, it's, yeah, it takes like, it takes extra finger power. It takes, you have to push harder than you would imagine you would have to use the C4, and your fingers start to hurt after a while. Not that it's hard to turn, but for some reason it just seems like it takes extra finger power. I don't understand why, because it's not a bad cube. It's great. We're talking about the C4. It's a great cube. If you can get it together. Like, for serious? Ah! I've got a cut on my finger and it really hurts. It just takes a little extra finger power. I don't know. I can't use my finger because I've got a cut and it really hurts. I just hit it and in a scene that I had to cut out. Oh, I can't do anything now. Oh. It just, it's a great cube, the C4. It just, I don't know. It takes too much finger power. This, it's like I can use my cut finger and it doesn't even hurt that much. So, yeah, MoYu HuanYing. Get one now. From HKnow. I have to go now because Dog the Bounty Hunter's on. I'm gonna go watch it. If the stupid channel will ever show up. It's raining out. It's the only channel that the rain affects. It just takes a little extra finger power. I don't know. Like, for serious? Ah! It just takes a little extra finger power. I don't know. Like, for serious? Ah! It just takes a little extra finger power. I don't know. It just takes a little extra finger power. I don't know. Like, for serious? Ah! Like, for serious? Ah! Like, for serious? Ah!